If you're selling clothing online and you're struggling to hit the right price point, this episode is going to be a game changer. We're breaking down the exact profit margins you're going to need to keep your clothing brand profitable while staying competitive. And if you get this wrong, you could be working hard but barely even making a profit, and maybe not even making a profit. But if you get it right, you could build a sustainable, thriving business. You're the next FUBU. If you love learning about business strategy, hit that subscribe button. Share this with your family, your friends, and fellow entrepreneurs, because Straight Talk Commerce starts in 3, 2, 1. Let's go.
No fluff, no hype, just the real deal. Wayne Altman's here, yeah, you know the drill. Talking business, talking shop, making moves non-stop. From e-com to hustle, straight talk, no props. Straight talk, no gimmicks, no lies. Hey, I break it down with the sharpest minds. Money, moves, mindset, grind. If you're ready to win, then tune in live. Big names, big games, all the lessons they bring. From Jelly Belly to AA Kings. From the startup grind to the top tier pros. We crack the code, now here we go. Straight talk, commerce, getting to know with Wayne Altman. Let's start the show.
Hey everybody. Pricing your clothing brand for profit is not just about slapping a number on a tag. It's a strategy. In this episode, I'm going to break down the essential profit margins that you're going to need to maintain when selling clothing, any product actually, online. From understanding production costs to a psychological pricing, competitor analysis, and premium branding tactics, I'm going to show you how to set those prices that's going to drive your revenue and keep your customers coming back and back and back for more. Now, whether you're just launching or whether you're looking to optimize a brand that's struggling, we're going to try and get you to profitable, maximum profitability. And this episode is going to be jam-packed with actionable insights that you don't want to miss. Here's why that matters. If you're going to go to the trouble of starting your own brand, having your own brand, you really do need to hit on all cylinders. Clothing, any business is cutthroat, but clothing has a tendency to be food, clothing. These are essential things, and they're very highly competitive. And so before you start setting any of your prices, you need to have a very clear understanding of all of your costs. And that's going to ensure that your business remains profitable. So understanding your costs, number one thing, you want to have the cost of goods sold. That's COGS, C-O-G-S, cost of goods sold. Those are the direct costs of your product, whatever they are. And it's going to vary depending on what that product is. Sell a pair of shorts, your COG is going to be different than that t-shirt, that printed t-shirt that you also sell 2 pages on the other side. You're going to look at your fabric and materials, choosing between cotton, polyester, organic fabrics that are specialty, those kind of things. Each of those things are going to have a different price point. They're going to have a difference in what they cost, as will manufacturing and production. Your labor costs, depending on where you're having those manufactured in the world, your cut and sew, your printing or embroidery, if there's embroidery on there, the quality of that workmanship is going to vary, and the price is going to vary. So you've got to pay attention to that as well. That comes into effect. And by the way, the reason I'm telling you this is because you can, these are all dials on the dashboard. These are all things that can be adjusted. These are all things that you can adjust as you go. And that's per item. Your packaging and shipping costs. Those branded packaging, that branded packaging for premium items, hey man, that has a cost to it. Fulfillment fees, whether it's domestic and international. Last week we talked about whether you are going to source goods within the United States or within whatever country you're in, and whether you're going to go outside of your country. That's what we're talking about here. Your packaging, fulfillment fees, domestic and international shipping. You're also going to be taking a look at your import duties and taxes. We talk a lot about tariffs in the United States where, we have a president that's going to be tariffing this country and that country. Well, none of that applies if you're sourcing your goods within your own country. And hidden expenses when manufacturing overseas, those can come back and at least make an impact, if not bite you. Now let's talk about your overhead costs. There are expenses beyond the production of your item, okay? We're talking about website and e-commerce fees. Whether you're on Shopify, WooCommerce, whatever platform you find yourself on, there are yearly, monthly fees that are going to be added into the cost and borne by every single one of the products that you sell, right? Marketing and advertising. Some of your items are going to have a much bigger share of that advertising budget. Paid ads, influencer partnerships, SEO, organic, they all come with costs, and they need to be divided in your store. And here's a tip for you real quick. You may have some items in your store that are extremely cost heavy and are dragging your store down, that you would normally have a profitable store if it weren't for one or two products that are weighing you down. And that's the reason we're having this discussion to begin with. Branding and design. Your logo, your professional photography, your packaging, the aesthetics of all of that come with a cost, and those need to be taken into consideration when you are considering your COG, your cost of goods sold, again. And then any employees and contracts or contractors or partnerships, those carry a cost as well. Customer service. Your fulfillment team, anybody that's in the back that's putting all these things together and labeling them and, handling your logistics. If you have anyone helping you with this, that's going to generally come with a cost, and that needs to be considered. Here's a formula on screen now, is a formula to figure out your minimum selling price. You take your COGS, your cost of goods sold, take your cost of goods sold, you add your overhead. Those are the things that we were talking about before, all of the costs. Then you take into consideration your hidden costs. Now let's talk about hidden costs for a second. These are the things that we want to take a look at. These are expenses that you may have overlooked earlier, and that's why you're not as profitable as you want to be. So let's talk about them. Returns and refunds. Those high return rates, especially in fashion, things that people order and they were not the right size, or you shipped the wrong size, or they ordered the wrong size. You have a refund policy or you have a return policy, and that can be a very high cost to you. Damage or defective items. A lot of times when you are sending out products like this, t-shirts, when you're sending, they show up to the customer either through the postal service or even way back in manufacturing, you sent out an imperfect product. You're going to want to do something about that. There's a cost to that. The cost of defective goods and quality control may tell you that you need to go with a new distributor. You need to go with a new manufacturer for the product, because their cost of damage and defective items far too high with what you are ready to bear. And then your inventory storage. Look, if you are as you start to grow, you're going to get a hard to find item. Those one-of-a-kind fashion items, you're going to want to warehouse them so you have them in stock. Those warehousing and fulfillment center fees can be amazing, super high. So you want to pay very close attention when you're figuring this selling price. So here's the formula. You take your cost of goods sold, you add in your overhead, you take those hidden costs that we just talked about, and then you talk about your target profit. You add your target profit. That's the amount of money you expect to make from this particular item. That is going to, adding all of those together, that is going to equal your selling price. Let's give you an example. If your cost of goods sold is $18, that's that t-shirt that cost to you is $18. And you think, hey, look, I need to make at least 60% gross margin on this. Your price should be at least $45 per t-shirt to remain profitable. In order for you to maximize your profit or to reach your profit goals, that $18 cost to you t-shirt needs to be $45 minimum.
ToolEssential.ai is an innovative platform designed to streamline and optimize workflow automation for businesses of all sizes. Integrating seamlessly with your existing tools and systems, ToolEssential.ai leverages advanced AI to automate repetitive tasks, enhance productivity, and reduce human error. Our platform offers customized solutions tailored to your industry needs, empowering your team to focus on strategic, high-value activities. With ToolEssential.ai, you gain real-time insights, improve operational efficiency, and achieve faster, more impactful results, ultimately driving your business growth and success. Experience the future of work with ToolEssential.ai.
Now, how do we figure out what we want as a profit margin? Because that actually can be a lot of companies, a lot of places operate on a very thin margin. They're not all in for profiting off as much as they possibly can on every single discount. Retailers abound. They're everywhere. So the industry standard for fast fashion, 50 to 60% markup. Your mid-tier brands are 60 to 75% markup. And then luxury brands can reach as high as 1,000% markup, between 400 and 1,000% markup on that brand. I'm looking at a Louis Vuitton purse. The cost of goods, and then you add 1,000% to that, and that's really what we're talking about here. So you see, if you have a luxury brand and you're trying to make a luxury brand and you're asking a premium price, those other things really need to be on point. Now, competitive pricing strategies, you need to do your market research. You study your competitors' pricing and positioning, and that really, your competitors, you decide that. Who do you want to compete with? And actually, in reality, if you're smart, you're going to find the hole in the market, the place that you fit in, the place where you can find a home. And then psychological pricing tactics. We're going to talk about why $49.99 is better and works better than $50. Okay? It's all about psychological pricing. And we're finding more and more and more that really has lost a lot of its effect, but not quite all of its effect. So the human brain will think that a $49.99 product is cheaper or a better value than a $50 or a $51 product. And the difference, as you'll probably agree, is negligible. But in your head, it looks better and it is more attractive to you, a $49.99 product sitting next to a $50 or $51 product. And your inclination is to reach and click that $49.95 or $49.99 product. If there's something in the human brain that makes it a much bigger deal than it is actually. And then premium pricing for brand perception. Higher prices create the perception of luxury. Let me say that again. Higher prices help to perpetuate, help to create perceived luxury. So a t-shirt that you got for $18, the same t-shirt you got for $18 in production, if you were to charge $150 or $200 for that, same t-shirt, but the perception is this is a luxury brand. It has does not have to have anything to do with the actual t-shirt being of a better quality cotton or milled better or sewn together any better. It doesn't have to. There are a lot of cheap luxury, quote unquote, luxury branded products. But you want to keep those things in mind when you're talking about competitive pricing strategies. You're not going to get away with it for very long. Let me tell you this. If you're selling shirts, let's say a rugby shirt, and that rugby shirt fails to have the tape sewn in the collar, it doesn't have the cuffs that are going to last for a very long time, or the colors fade quickly from your rugby shirt, and the seams are with a very weak material or a very weak thread, people are going to pick up on that extraordinarily quickly. They may buy one from you, but when they find the fifth wash, the color's faded and it's tore up, they're not going to be buying that product from you again. There is a very fine balance because LL Bean is moving away from their products were of such high quality that when people, they had such a liberal return policy that they ran into problems. They'll tell you it is a very fine line that we're walking here. You build a product, you make a product, a pair of slippers, for example, that are really good slippers. Now you've gone 3, 5, 6 years that people aren't having to buy slippers again, and the minute that you that they want to return them, you've taken them out of the market for slippers for 4 years, and then you allow them to be returned. Now you've taken them out for another 4 years that they're not going to buy that particular product for you again. The upside is they're going to very quickly associate you with high quality, and other things that you sell are going to sell much better because they're going to buy those from you as well. Your brand loyalty is going to go through the absolute roof. So it's amazing. And let's talk about discounts now that we're talking about this. Because I'm looking at so many people that are killing themselves with a discount. They're absolutely choking their store to death because they have fallen in love and become addicted to discounts. Let's talk about some of these. Number one, discounts devalue your brand perception. Let me say that again. Having discounts or overdosing on discounts will devalue your brand's perception or your customer's perception of value of you. And I'll go no further than J. Crew. J. Crew had this massive discount spiral. They overused their sale. And they led customers they trained their own customers to never, ever pay full price for the product. And as a result, their brand value has declined, and they have completely had to restructure due to financial struggles because of that. And they're no longer, they used to be regarded as a luxury brand, and that is no longer the case. So they're going to have to take other actions to reclaim that value proposition, that space in a luxury space. Number two, it trains customers to wait for your discounts. And we'll talk about Macy's for a second, okay? Macy's, in every mall throughout the United States, there's a Macy's. And Macy's, they jumped on this coupon culture. They had constant sales, and they taught their customers to only buy their products when it was on sale or when there was a sale going on. And it killed their full price revenue, destroyed it. And as a result, the brand is currently struggling to maintain profitability. They are closing stores nationwide, and I am positive that they are wishing that they had never got on the drug of discounting items, or they would have gone to rehab. They would never have allowed it to get to the point that it is right now. And if they're not, they really need to take a very hard look at their management, because now we see it. I'm sure they didn't see it as it was happening, but now we see it it's crystal clear. Discounts also lower your profit margin. Let's look at Gap. Everybody falling into the Gap. Well, Gap fell into the overuse of discounts, and they ran endless sales. And they sacrificed their profits for short-term revenue, and that is a big no-no. And as a result, the brand equity declined, and it makes it very difficult to invest in product improvements. So now you've got a company that used to be worth billions and billions and billions, and every mall in America had a Gap, and all the kids were wearing Gap clothing. And guess what? Now you've gotten to the point where it's hard for people to invest because you've destroyed, or you've had a hard time maintaining your model, and it's just ugly. Discounts also attract the wrong customer.
If your business operations feel like a grind, you're missing out on the magic of artificial intelligence. Whether you're in retail, manufacturing, finance, or any other industry, AI is a game changer. From automating mundane tasks to optimizing your supply chain, AI can transform how you operate. We specialize in creating tailored AI solutions that meet your unique challenges and goals. With our expertise, you can improve efficiency, reduce errors, and make better decisions. Discover how AI can revolutionize your business. Contact us today at www.toolessentials.ai/consultation.
Customer. Bed Bath & Beyond. I don't know how many Christmases have been full in my house of Bed Bath & Beyond, and the coupon addiction they created with their customers has really ruined them. I don't know if they're going to be able to pull this out. This brand is famous for 20% off coupons, especially during the Christmas season, and it attracted those deal seekers instead of loyal customers. So that could happen to you. You could attract people that only bought from you because it was on sale, and that's not the place to be, you guys. That is not the place to be. You want to present your products and make them irresistible, even when the customer has to pay full price. As a result, when they tried to reduce the number of coupons or tried to eradicate coupons, their customers left, and the brand has collapsed, and it's nowhere near it was in its glory days. So if you want to live by the sword, you're going to die by the sword. And the sword being discounts. You really want to use discounts judiciously. And in a couple minutes, I'm going to talk about that in a little bit. When to know, or when to use discounts and when to lower your prices, because there is a way to tell. It's very simple. It also creates price wars with your competitors. Nothing creates a price war with a competitor like the good old discount. Price matching. Everybody will I'll price match any one of my competitors, right? We're all going to crash through the floor at the same time. Forever 21 and Shein, I'm looking at you at this point. Forever 21 slashed their prices to compete, and there's always someone that's willing to go lower, and that's Shein. Shein even came in and outpriced them because they have a labor force behind them that they're willing to use child labor, they're willing to use forced labor, they're willing to use whatever it is. And I'm not necessarily talking about Shein, but I'm definitely, their suspicions are out there. As a result, Forever 21 could not keep up, and they filed for bankruptcy. They're trying to restructure now, and it's anybody's guess whether or not they're going to make it through this. Whereas, You're talking about a brand that was extremely vibrant, extremely successful at one point, and it just got too much for them, and they became too dependent on discounts. And the takeaway here should be that smart promotion, and it should be limited time, it should be strategic, and it should not be a constant expectation. Do not make that a constant expectation from your customer. You can build a very good customer base paying full price. A lot of the, you can name any market, but there's a lot of places where they're just willing to stack and build and stack and stack and stack discounts and free gifts and free shipping, and eventually that house of cards will all collapse in on you, and all any normal brand has to do, or brands that don't fall into this trap, all they have to do is sit on the rock and wait you out. And that's what's going to happen. Let me give you some discounting strategies that actually do work. Instead of a deep discount, use these strategies that I'm about to tell you, and you will really increase your sales, your brand loyalty, and your cachet with your customers. Use an exclusive VIP discount. Use discounts and reward loyal customers instead of just anybody who will buy from you. How about that? You are encouraging people to return. Have a card that is punched, or have a coupon and gamify it. Make it a game to see how much you can buy and how big of a discount you can get from me, because you've bought so many things from me in the past. Bundle products. So you only get a discount if you bundle these products together. If you want to buy a shirt, you're going to pay for full price. But if you'd like to buy this entire outfit with shirt, shorts, and shoes, well, then now we're talking about discounting by bundling all of those products together. Do limited time drops. Hype up any new release that you have instead of discounting old stock. Try that. Anything that new coming in, hey, we're going to discount, we're going to give you one of these, we're going to do 2-for-1 this for you, because it's something new, and we want to establish this in your clothing rotation, as opposed to, hey, we got a bunch of old crap sitting in a warehouse, and we're going to heavily discount that for you. Sounds like a better idea, doesn't it? I think it does. Look, this is very tough. This business is extremely tough, and you probably have noticed that by now. And this is not in any attempt to discourage anyone from going into the clothing part of e-commerce, retail e-commerce. This is actually, if you're properly armored and armed, believe me, this can be extremely profitable to you. So you start tracking your margins today and make small tweaks. Those can mean big profits. You do not make these wild pricing swings. That is something that is absolutely going to kill your business if you do that. Taking swings at it like a piñata with a blindfold on, no. The way that you handle this, the way that you do this in any thing is this. Here's a rule of thumb. Raise your price on any item until you stop selling that item, and then lower your price until it starts to sell again, and leave it at that price. That way you know that you are getting the most out of that item. Let's say that you sell guitars, and you line up at a flea market, and you've got a table, and you're having a hard time right now because you've priced these things. You're having a hard time keeping up an inventory. Well, the best thing for you to do is to raise the price across the board on all of the guitars, and tell those guitars do not sell anymore till you go a couple of weeks where no one is buying that guitar. And then the next time you go, you've lowered the price back to the last time people were buying those guitars from you. That is you maximizing the price. That's a very good indication that you have maximized the price that you can get on that item. All right?
ToolEssential.ai is an innovative platform designed to streamline and optimize workflow automation for businesses of all sizes. Integrating seamlessly with your existing tools and systems, ToolEssential.ai leverages advanced AI to automate repetitive tasks, enhance productivity, and reduce human error. Our platform offers customized solutions tailored to your industry needs, empowering your team to focus on strategic, high-value activities. With ToolEssential.ai, you gain real-time insights, improve operational efficiency, and achieve faster, more impactful results, ultimately driving your business growth and success. Experience the future of work with ToolEssential.ai.
All right, that's a wrap on today's episode, you guys. If you've been struggling to price your clothing brand for profit, I hope the breakdown that I just gave you gives you the clarity that you need to make smarter business decisions. Let's do a quick recap. I started with the foundation of pricing, understanding your costs. Now, that's not just the obvious ones like manufacturing and materials, but also I talked about the hidden costs like transaction fees and returns and fulfillment. If you don't have a firm grasp on those things, you could be making sales without making any real profit. And that's a fast track to burnout and destruction, if you ask me. Then we talked about how to calculate your ideal profit margin. And you base it on industry standards. Whether you're in fast fashion, whether you're in mid-tier or premium branding, your markup needs to reflect and align with both your brand and long-term sustainability. I also broke down pricing strategies that work, including psychological pricing, premium branding, competitor research, all these things that should be very clear that pricing isn't just about covering your costs, it's about how customers are perceiving your product. The right price can elevate your brand. The wrong price can make you look cheap or overpriced and destroy what you're trying to build. Let's not forget about the danger of overusing discounts, huh? We've seen so many major brands. I mentioned J. Crew, Macy's, Gap. They all fell into the trap of training their customers to only buy when it's on sale. And it killed their margins, and it devalued their brand. Many of them will not ever recover, you guys. They will not recover. The key takeaway here, discounts should be used as a strategy, not as a crutch. So what's next for you? Take a very hard look at your pricing. Are you actually profitable on each sale, or are those hidden costs eating into your margins? Think long term. Are you positioning your brand for premium pricing, or are you stuck in a discount cycle? It's a bad place to be. Experiment with smart promotions. Just try bundling loyalty programs or limited time discount on drops instead of slashing prices across the board. Silly. It's a very bad move. If this episode helped you, do me a favor. Leave a review on your favorite podcast platform wherever you saw this. Leave a review and share this with another entrepreneur, someone that you care about, that you want to see succeed. Somebody who's trying to build a profitable clothing brand, or any brand for that matter. Your support is helping us bring more content to you every single week and helping our subscribers grow. And by the way, keep watching because it's growing by 4,000 subscribers a month. And to me, that's a very big source of pride for me. If you want to dive deeper into this, make sure that you follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube for more weekly insights on building and scaling fashion brands. Watch our clips. Give us a thumbs up, like, subscribe. You know the deal. All right, until next time, next week, stay smart, stay profitable, and keep building that brand. See you later.